Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now, here's another one. Make your next career move with a degree from University of Maryland Global Campus. Choose from more than 125 degree and certificate programs featuring online courses, faster onboarding, and no-cost digital resources in place of most textbooks. Get started on your undergraduate or graduate degree or certificate online. No application fee through May 31st. Learn more at umgc.edu/podcast. Certified to operate by Chev.
This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 2740. We Can Be Happy Despite Pain from Our Past, by Margareta Ackerman with tinybuddha.com. And I'm Justin Malik. And we're going to get right to today's post and continue optimizing your life. We Can Be Happy Despite Pain from Our Past, by Margareta Ackerman with tinybuddha.com. Quote, think of all the beauty that is still left in and around you and be happy. Anne Frank. At first glance, the happiest person I've ever met appeared to be a simple man. There didn't seem to be anything particularly sophisticated or spiritual about him. Srulik was 5 feet tall with a big round belly and a wide smile permanently plastered on his face. He enjoyed the small things in life, a good joke, a familiar television show, a wholesome meal. He radiated such joy and was so unassuming in his demeanor that one would assume he was blessed with an equally simple and joyful life. Many years ago, when I was only 10 years old, I remember coming home one day particularly distraught. My class had just learned about the Nazi Holocaust. At the sink, my mother was washing dishes. I started telling her about what I learned in school when she gently cut me off and, in a matter-of-fact kind of way, said, "Oh, your grandfather is a survivor. You should talk to him about it." "Wait, which one?" I asked. "Grandpa Srulik," she answered as she continued scrubbing a pot. I was flabbergasted. What? Him of all people? How could that be? He's always so happy. It just didn't make any sense. I was only a child, and yet I could feel that something out of the ordinary was happening here. Later, I learned that, indeed, volumes of psychological research confirms that a difficult past leads to a difficult future. No need to go as far as the Holocaust. Common problems we suffer in times of peace and plenty, such as bullying and poor attachment to our parents, can have serious psychological consequences, preventing us from enjoying our lives many years after the problems go away. Veterans often suffer from severe post-traumatic stress, and Holocaust survivors in particular are known to suffer from a wide array of emotional problems after the unspeakable horrors that they suffered. Who would expect anything else? And yet, there was my grandfather, happy as ever, smiling, telling jokes, and laughing his heart out. I had to know what enabled him to survive so wholly. "How do you manage to stay so happy?" I said during one of our conversations. "You need to learn to be happy from any success," he told me, "any success at all. When some misfortune happens, we need to view it with humor and think of it as temporary. Think of something else. I view everything with optimism. It's very important," he added later. His secrets boiled down to gratitude, the power of positive thinking, and optimism. I must admit I've heard it all before, but suddenly I saw it in a whole new way. Can things such as gratitude and optimism help us overcome even the most tragic of traumas? How powerful are these principles? When Grandpa Srulik was 10 years old, the Nazis came into his Polish town and gathered up his family, the only Jewish family in town. With the entire town watching, a Nazi pushed Srulik's father against the brick wall of his house. Then the Nazi grabbed hold of his mother and pushed her hard against the wall. Next, he did the same to his brother. Realizing that he was next, Srulik picked up his heels and ran as fast as he could through the thick crowd surrounding his house. Behind the river across from his house, he suddenly realized that he was alone. He had escaped the Nazis. He decided to hide in the bushes until morning before returning home. The next morning, Srulik overheard 3 women doing laundry in the river. This is when he learned that the previous night, his mother, father, and brother were shot dead into a hole in the ground. Devastated, utterly alone, and on the run from a powerful enemy, he tearfully mourned their loss. Yet through this pain, he never lost hope. He shared with me that even in that terrible moment, he believed with all of his heart that he would find a way through this challenge, monumental as it was. But things got worse before they got better. Several weeks later, Srulik was discovered and imprisoned in a Nazi ghetto. There he saw Nazis throwing live infants against walls and witnessed the murder of thousands of innocent people every day. He nearly died from starvation and disease and narrowly escaped the Nazis' bullets on numerous occasions. Against all odds, optimism carried Srulik through this unimaginable horror. Every day he told himself that the Nazis would be defeated and he would be free. Through the years he spent running and hiding from the Nazis, Srulik never forgot to be grateful for the small rays of light that lit his path. He recalled with delight the wonderful homemade pickles that a young Polish woman gave him when he had nothing. He never forgot the kindness of a German cook who, instead of reporting him to the authorities, shared his delicious soup. Srulik held on to his positive attitude for years after the war. He was grateful for all the kind people he had met along the way, the orphanage that took him in, and the opportunities he had to earn an education. Until his last day, Grandpa was able to find something positive in every situation. Even good weather counts, he taught me. Despite an incredibly difficult past, Srulik grew up to be a joyful, contagiously positive man. Having had the most difficult past of anyone I'd ever known, my grandpa was, and still is, without a shred of doubt, the happiest person I've ever met. If gratitude, positive thinking, and optimism helped him lead a happy life, then imagine what these principles can do for the rest of us. Surely there's hope for all of us, no matter what lies in our past. You just listened to the post titled, "We Can Be Happy Despite Pain from Our Past" by Margareta Ackerman with tinybuddha.com.
At Discount Tire, we know your time is valuable. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online. Did you know Discount Tire now sells wiper blades? Check out our current deals at discounttire.com or stop in and talk to an associate today. Discount Tire.
Let's get you taken care of.
Thank you to Margareta, a guest writer on Tiny Buddha. And thank you to Lori, the creator of the site, for letting us share the great articles from Tiny Buddha. Tiny Buddha has been helping people heal, grow, and find peace since 2009. The site features stories and insights from people of all ages from all over the globe. For daily wisdom, follow Tiny Buddha on Twitter and Facebook at Tiny Buddha, and on Instagram at Tiny Buddha Official, or subscribe to the blog at tinybuddha.com/list. And be sure to check out Tiny Buddha's Inner Strength Journal, creative prompts and challenges to help you get through anything. That's available on Amazon. The stories of the Holocaust are always so powerful and a great reminder to be grateful for what we have, because we could easily be in a situation where we're unable to do basically anything that we're currently doing, having the freedom to choose what to do with our lives. And hopefully this is a story you can remember during those difficult times. People had it worse. The author's grandfather really had it as bad as anyone, but can continue to be the happiest person she knows. To me, that means whatever problems we're having, they can be seen in another light, no matter how bad things seem. It might take some help, but it can be done. I'm sure the image I have of the author's grandfather will pop up into my head next time I need it. Hopefully it can for you too. And with that, thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.